fact that the threats to our very survival are so acute and real adds to a certain puzzlement of many admirers of your work and thought. They deplore that you have almost always been very reluctant to respond to those demands that are often put to you regarding what and can and should be done, and that you typically won't answer them beyond generalities such as organize. One could argue that these requests are both legitimate and strategically important, and moreover, that your socialist libertarian ideals should inspire you some answers that could today, for example, put on the agenda the takeover of workplaces as a live option. So those answers would, of course, be tentative and modest answers, but they would nevertheless be answers. And I think they are much needed today. You seem to think otherwise. Why?
Every topic that I've ever spoken and written about, as far as I can think of, I have suggested definite solutions. But when you get down to the tactical level, like what should we do tomorrow about this problem, then it's true. I can't give answers, and I don't think anyone can, because it depends very much on circumstances. I mean, a lot of my own activities, you don't know this from what I write, of course, but a lot of my own activities have been organizational. So I've spent a lot of time involved since the 60s in actual organization, in the 60s and 70s in organization of resistance activities, for example, later other movements. Anybody who's involved in an organization, say resistance, serious actions, this is not a joke. I mean, I was facing a long jail sentence, for example, and knew it. These were serious actions. They were illegal, and they had to be planned carefully. And you have to think quite carefully about tactics. There aren't trivial answers to questions of tactics. So we would spend a lot of, at least, the constant meetings to try to work out the kinds of tactics that would be appropriate in the existing situations. You want tactics to work. You don't want to carry them out because they make you feel good. You want them to have an effect. And that requires thinking through a lot of complicated things. And when people come to me and ask, well, what should I do to change protect the environment? I can't say. Depends where they are, who they are, what they're facing, what they're willing to do, who they're trying to reach, and so on. There aren't general answers to tactical questions. There are very specific answers, which have to do with immediate circumstances, including what the individual in question is willing to undertake. I don't expect everyone to be willing to undertake resistance, or civil disobedience even, or even large-scale protest. Those are choices. And within the range of choices about yourself and the circumstances you face, tactics have to be thought through carefully, and advice from the outside is meaningless. So yes, I agree at the tactical level, but in terms of general solutions, I think we can spell them out. So Israel-Palestine, nuclear weapons, Iran, whatever you like, I think it's not that hard to even a large-scale economic change, social economic change. I think you can spell out solutions, but how you get there is a hard problem.